Gideon Niewoudt is now on trial in the Port Elizabeth Supreme Court for murder. The Motherwell bombing case. The state alleges that he was involved in the murder of other policemen. At the Truth Commission hearing this week, Niewoudt was once again implicated in torture. Because of the court order, he was referred to as Mr. X or that policeman we cannot name.
So we will ask you that question now, Mkhuseli Jack. Do you intend to name Gideon Niewoudt as a perpetrator in your testimony?
I had him, I think 70% of my testimony would have dwelled on the matters relating to the person you mentioned.
Is Niewoudt you are mentioning here the gentleman who is known as Lieutenant-Colonel Niewoudt, who brought an application for certain names not to be mentioned, certainly not his name? Is that who you are talking about?
That is exactly the person I'm talking about.
No, Mr. X. There
was also Mr. X, who I'm not going to mention today. They said, we are going to castrate you today. That's what Mr. X said to me. People must know that this man that we're not supposed to mention, people must know how busy he was, how active he was in the torturing of people. You could see that even if he was walking, he was just walking as if he owns the world.
He personally tortured me on more than... look, the first time I was tortured by Niewoudt. The last time I was tortured by Niewoudt. That's back in 1979 and 1980. Now the last time it was 1987 when he put me in a boot of a car from Port Elizabeth to Fortbrown. Fortbrown is between Grahamstown and Fort Beaufort. In a boot of a car after having been tortured in Willowdene, where they were torturing, and put what you call it, this canvas over your face, and they did that to me there.
Despite Niewoudt's court order, the Mkhuseli are confident that they will testify. It is time for Elizabeth Mkhuseli to make the stand. The acting chairperson makes an announcement.
We call the next witness. The next witness was supposed to be Mrs. Mkhuseli. We are going to hold back that case until lunchtime today. Order, order, order. Masizole.
Okay,
Mama Chonga, Mama, Ufakulu Teta, Mama, Chonga, Mama.
Yeah, we must defy this nonsense.
Elizabeth Mkhuseli cannot testify today.
In Cape Town, a court is sitting. The lawyers representing Jan Duprier and Nick van Rensbeck have filed application that Mrs. Mkhuseli must not climb that podium. We are waiting for that judgment to come anytime this morning, and we have been ordered that we wait until that judgment comes. That shows the difficulty that we are facing as this commission.
For some time, the Truth Commission proceedings are disrupted as angry youth demand to hear the Mkhuseli.
What we do, let us ask the Truth Commission to come back to Port Elizabeth, as soon as possible. We can give them 5 days or so, but then the credibility of the Truth Commission is what we must protect at the moment, because correct, we are all angry about what they are trying to do, but they are going to try. Those guys on level, they are abusing The very constitution you fought for, I fought for.
A number of people in this hall are angry that this process is being delayed again. They would have preferred that Mr. and Mrs. Mkhulu are given a chance to tell their story. Those perpetrators who are named own up to what they've done or deny what they have not done, and the process of healing begins as speedily as possible. And I want to emphasize that the three parties involved here, we on this side of the table, the leaders of the community, the family of Mrs. Mkhulu, have all agreed on this proposal. That we supply all that is required for a hearing to be held in this hall, specifically to deal with the Mkhulu matter, sometime during the month of June. I think this case is now in the Eastern Cape region. I know that it's becoming a very crucial case for whether people are going to take this process of reconciliation via the Truth and Reconciliation Commission seriously, or whether they are going to write it off. We are going to do all in our powers to pin them down to a date in June.
If Gideon Niewoudt were to sit in front of you like I do now, what would your advice to him be?
I think I would advise in the interest of reconciliation, that if he is innocent, he should immediately approach the commission, approach the East London office of the commission, and arrange that he clears his name. But if he knows that he has been involved in any way, he should approach the Amnesty Committee